Always a treat to have a champion in studio, and he's Greg Emmer, car chief for Martin Truex Jr., NASCAR champion. So, champ, how does it feel to be a champ, Greg?
Well, it's pretty amazing, you know, to work in the sport as long as I did, and fight for a championship all the years, and then actually my final race, final season, to win it all. It was pretty amazing.
Now, we were joking off camera, but we got to talk about it on camera as well. Allenton, should they just put on the water tower, City of Champions now?
Yeah, it's funny to see that, because there are three of us, three NASCAR champions that came from Allenton. You know, myself, Russ Strupp, and Robbie Reiser. So it is, when you look back and you think about it, it's like, well, a town of 400 people. There's three of us that came from it. So
my dad raced. I know the racing heritage and history, but does it still blow your mind a little bit, Greg? Just guys like yourself, Allan Kowicki, Matt Kenseth, Dick Trickle. I mean, I'm going to leave somebody off, so I'm going to quit right there. But just all the people who have either been from here or raced, even like Jimmy Johnson and Mark Martin, who started their careers essentially here and have gone on to bigger and better things.
Yeah, I mean, the southeastern Wisconsin, the racing in southeast Wisconsin has always been amazing. You know, it's been, you know, ever since I was a little kid going to Slinger Speedway, Madison, you know, Kaukauna, stuff like that. It really wakes you up to the fact that, you know, a lot of people in NASCAR are from this area. And a lot of people that, you know, succeed in NASCAR come from this area. At least some point in their career came here to race because they knew it was going to make them better. So to think about that, it's pretty cool.
What is it like to be a NASCAR champion?
Yeah, I don't think it really has set in yet. It's been a week, but you know, we go this week to Las Vegas to celebrate our championship banquet, and you know, I think that's when it's going to set in, when you know, take the time with your teammates and you know, all that stuff to really think about it and to understand what it really means. And
a lot of people talk about going out on top. You did it. What does that mean?
Yeah, that you know, I decided earlier this year that this is going to be my last year in racing, and that, you know, I was going to take a step back and move back to Wisconsin. And, you know, I thought last year when I signed with Furniture Row that, you know, this is a team that has a shot to win a championship. And as long as I have a shot at least to win races and to run well, you know, I thought that's all I could really ask for. But as the season got closer, as the season got towards the end, you know, we really started to think we really have a shot at this. And to pull it all together and to win the final race down in Miami and to win the championship, there's no better way to leave on my own terms than to leave as a champion.
It didn't always go as planned or as expected, and around these parts, I mean, people just, Jim Wildman Watson was beloved, another Wisconsin guy that was on the crew with you. Take us back, Greg, to when you found out, literally within 24 hours of having to race, having to do your job, that he had passed away. Yeah,
it was probably the toughest thing I've ever went through as a person. You know, Jim and I were roommates on the road. So we stayed in the same hotel room every weekend, and we went to dinner all the time together. And not only that, I knew him because of Wisconsin. And we were really close friends. And, you know, to get the phone call that something happened to Jim and we're on their way to the hospital, and then, you know, to go through that night before was, like I said, the hardest thing I've ever went through. You know, and not only just because he didn't have any family there, none of us did, and we are each other's family. You know, and to call Lori and talk to Brittany, his daughter, and it was tough. But you know, to go back and do what we did 24 hours later, to win that race in memory of Jim, and to come back from the diversity of the race of, you know, speeding on pit road and having a loose wheel, that's stuff that you usually can't come back from. And we're able to do it. So you know, it was really special, obviously, and it was even more special to win the championship. And, you know, because that was one of Jim's dreams, is to win a championship along with all of ours. And, you know, to pull that off at the end was truly amazing. And the outpouring of emotion, Greg, I mean, you know, you were crying, there were guys crying, and Martin in Victory Lane, you know, pointing up into the sky. It has to be one of those moments that you never want to go through it, but you'll never forget it. When you see that video, what do you immediately think of, and what's your tribute to your friend? Well, it's just the raw emotion. You know, the raw emotion of being so close to somebody. And that's the first time in my life, you know, I've lost grandparents and we've all lost loved ones, but to lose somebody that you spend every single day with, a lot of time, a lot of hours, and you share the same hotel room with, you know, and you travel together, to lose somebody that close and for them just not to be there anymore is a big, you know, it's just a lot of emotion. And I think a lot of that, you know, we all kept our emotion in check
Right.
until the end of the race,
Yeah.
and that's when it finally came out, and you know, then it was the right time because our job was done for the day, and we did what we came to do.
And it was an amazing up and down roller coaster. And NASCAR is, I don't think people even realize how difficult it is. It's like the circus life. Like you said, for 36 weeks,
Yep.
you're coming in and out of town, running all over the place. But whether it was, you know, Martin Truex Jr.'s, you know, significant other Sherry with her cancer battle, and just other things that you guys had to overcome, whether it was, you know, illnesses and deaths and things like that, I mean, can you even wrap your head around, Greg, everything that happened?
Well, I think that a lot of us on the team, you know, we became more of a family early on in the season, you know, just dealing with stuff outside of work, you know, and it's being out in Colorado, it helps that because that's all we have is each other.
Wow.
So to become as a family and just to always stick together and fight like brothers, but make up like brothers, and
Right.
you know, that's what really gets you through. And you know, I think the racing was our outlet,
Yeah.
and that just showed that the more effort we put into it got our minds off of what was going on outside in normal life, and it took us away from normal life for, you know, a day at a time. So I think that's what really set us apart from a lot of teams in the sport.
A lot of people were pulling for you guys too, just because of the situation. I know that it's very competitive, but I think if anybody was honestly asked, who do you want to win, it would have been the Martin Truex Jr. team.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a great feeling. We went in as, you know, we went into the playoffs as the #1 seed, and we went into the final championship race, you know, as the one expected to win. But, you know, that depends on what all happens during the race.
Right.
Right. So, but, you know, there's times in that race that we didn't think we had a shot to win it. You know, and then to watch Martin do what he did the last 35 laps was truly amazing. And, you know, if it puts him on a tier by himself for the rest of his career, it's well deserving.
Will it be made into a movie or a book?
Well, I'm not sure about that far, but you know, it was truly a storybook season for this team, and you know, to have 8 wins and to win the championship, and I think somebody said 26 top 10s was out of 36 races is truly amazing, and you know, to end my career this way and to do what we did, it's been awesome.
You're going to put the bow on the gift, as I like to say, since it's almost the Christmas season, at the banquet. What's going to be going through your mind there?
Well, I just think it's going to be spending time with, you know, the team I spent so much time with this past year, and to see all the people that work in NASCAR, to see them one final time, you know, before I don't see them every weekend.
Right.
You know, so just to take that moment in, take the time in with my teammates, and to celebrate, you know, and to just live in the moment, take it all in, and you know, something I'll be able to cherish for the rest of my life.
And you're younger than me, my friend. You're too young to retire, man.
Well,
Come on.
yeah, that's what a lot of people said, but you know, it's a good feeling to know that I did it on my terms.
Absolutely.
And I was able to walk away from a sport that gave me so much and that handed me so much throughout my life, and you know, I'll always be thankful for it. And I'm just ready for the next challenge, whatever that might be.
It's so competitive, but congratulations, my friend, on an awesome championship.
Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Greg Emmer, Car Chief Martin Truex Jr. Thanks for watching on today's DMJ4.